Right, welcome to the nahsee exchange. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back. We are here for another exciting video. Like if you're a new subscriber, thank you for being here. If you are returning, then thank you again for coming back and checking us out. So, as we say, whether you're nahsee or you can't see, let's clean up your art and come and let's talk about it, because that's the way we start change and progress and make people up on the same page, not page but page. It's for us to start the dialogue, start the exchange. So let's go.
So this is one of the, if you have been on the channel before, we have a section called WTF. Like,
Yep,
you
this
know
is
what
a
that means.
yep, this is a
So
double
we just like give like a quick reaction about current events or anything that's going on either in the US or Jamaica. So for this one, with the recent debates, presidential debates in the US, and just the whole entire presidency of Donald Trump, it's just like a quick reaction as a person that lives in Jamaica, and probably I think more people US, how you feel about the whole thing after everything happened.
Would I like to hear from
Um,
them people then? If
yeah,
you're a person living in Jamaica and you aspire to migrate, come to America,
yeah, how you
has
feel about the
I
whole
mean,
thing.
has the debate, the debates are what you saw, or how you are you are going, is that deterring you at all? Do you have apprehension now because of what's going on? And here's the other thing too, the other question I have, like, Irwa, I I don't know about you, and maybe when you watch these videos, our viewers can comment. I know when I was younger, I had a particular view of the United States, like the view of
Idea.
this righteous, not maybe righteous is a too much of a strong word,
But
but
just,
like
probably just.
just like this society wherein, I mean, like, if you can't make it anyway, it has to be America. You know what I mean? Like, America is like the like
A fruitful ground.
yeah, like
It's a place
justice
where
and
dreams come true.
fairness
Your
and
dreams come true. Mm-hmm.
dream come true land. You just need to get there. You just need to get there. I'm wondering if, with our Wagwan, and especially when after watching the debates, one, do people still have that perception of America? And if you do, two, did it change or has it changed based on what's going on now?
Well, all right. For me, it has changed
Tell me.
because with the current state of affairs and you're just paying attention to certain things, certain news, it's like you learn things that you wouldn't normally learn
Hmm.
about the country, like certain laws, certain things. Like so now you really start to think like, how better is where you are, where you want to go?
Oh,
Would you prefer to live here or there? So me
well,
only got that about myself personally. If if I should come to the United States now, I would no longer want to go there to live. But the driving factor for me to even want to like go outside of just visit and travel and experience as a tourist
mm-hmm.
is just make some money. I'm gonna be honest. Because even like with the whole like police brutality thing and whatever, I'm not saying Jamaican police are the best because we have some issues out here in the police. But there's certain things like you're like, yo, what Jamaican police now go dealing with it like that. You don't hear about what Jamaican like a dead on traffic stop. Like it's on routine traffic stop and policeman pull you over because the light out or might check your papers. You know, you want Jamaica just a dead for that. I'm more for like police raid, like they go for you, like here, so criminals there are certain places or they have suspicion of somebody there, so they go for a raid and miscommunication or mistaken identity or wrong place at the wrong time and innocent people are dead. But feel like the simple thing like traffic stop. Jamaican people not dead. Police not killer. So it kind of make you start look like, do you really want to live there? Like, where you can just lose your life or some simple things? You know, so Jamaica safe, don't get me wrong. but it's like different kind of safe. You understand? Like,
Right.
you really start to think like, it's like you want to jump with a frying pan when I fire type of thing. You understand? The economic start to think like, you know, where do you want to live here anymore? Or you just want to go to make some money, come back here.
Here's the thing, like also, because even after that's a good point, and we don't want some people who like yourself who currently live in Jamaica to speak to that point, because I live in the US. So for me, that's not even a perspective that I can even have at this point, because that's not my reality. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't even speak to it from that perspective, because that's not my reality currently. So it would be nice if we have some of our viewers who live in Jamaica, and you tell us what you think. Tell us, has all of this affected, you know, whether or not you'd want to come here, whether or not you like you say, just visit and cut. You know, it's not a I want to migrate and my family, and you know what I mean, like.
All of that.
But I do think maybe for some people that is still the case, that they're like, I don't care what's going on. My life is so hard in Jamaica that I will go take my chances in the US with the police, them, and you know, I'll go on same way.
But all right, what these things you may talk about, like with certain things we learn, because one I think is like if you're in Jamaica, you're down for your rent.
Right.
I've never seen a case where a person get thrown out of their house or wherever they rent in like 5 days. During the whole COVID and all of this, like you learn to certain states in America, 5 days. If you don't pay your rent in 5 days, you're homeless. They can just kick you out. I have never seen that in Jamaica. Never. People are miss our rent for 2-3 months. Some people, extreme cases, are 6 months. That's your landlord and they still have somewhere to live. So you understand? So the little something there when you learn certain like the intricacies or nuance of the states, you kind of start to look on it like it's just like in a go, you can't just go anywhere again. Every start look like okay, which state have what or what or what which state is friendly towards this or you understand? You make a start look on.
But it's crazy that you say that, because that brings up a good point. Because when you live outside of the US, you feel like everywhere is the same. You see me, I say like, because most people just say, all right, most Jamaicans, them live in New York or them live in Florida, Jersey, you know what I mean? Like them, you know what I'm saying? And so, and that's, and then when it comes to like the image that you see on TV, and so, and even the news and everything. So when you're outside the United States, you think, oh, everywhere is the same. So, you know, lots of Jamaicans, they're in Florida, they're in New York, you know, they're in Jersey, Connecticut, wherever. But you don't understand, say, you only understand when you get here that depending on the state that you live in, what you're going to face is different, because you can live in certain states, like, is it like Arizona, where Arizona, they don't play like immigration, you know what I mean? If you, or even if you live in New York, like how do you, it depends on like, do you live
Places in New York?
Do you live, you know, like, so it's like when you get here, you understand certain intricacies, wherein I feel like people who live here, they don't tell you those things. They don't tell you until you get there, and then you figure out like, oh shit, wow, what do I do now? So like, especially now with not just Corona, but with having like a president that seems to be more, what's the word? He's not as friendly towards immigrants.
Not immigrant friendly.
You know? And so now you see more where it's more of a, you know what I mean?
When you're beginning to see the disparity. you begin to see the cracks in the dream or the cracks in the image. And you realize that, because at first you could say, oh, baby, it's the president, you know, maybe he's just not immigrant friendly. But based on his supporters and other things that are said and explained, you realize, hey, there may be quite a few other people that are not immigrant friendly. So, as I say, if you go move, to live, you have to start thinking about where you go live. Like, you understand? You're probably trying to find out where the more immigrant friendly areas are and any type of something there. So, from the
Yeah, and
debate going right back to the presidency, the whole thing, the whole 4 years, it make you start kind of, as me say, the whole image of America is kind of start look on it different. Like, you really start think now. You understand?
What about like the debates in terms of your perspective as someone, because in a Jamaican parliament, we've seen people like they get down, they threw pens at each other. You know what I'm saying? They get you know what I mean? Them throw wood, them hot. But it's like I have never seen in all my years of living here wherein you have a presidential debate where I think the whole country was shook. I think the whole country was shook because they're thinking like, what in the world? Like, this is supposed to be America. Like, whoa.
Okay, but wait, you know, we had our elections recently. We had Prime Minister debates, Andrew Holness versus Peter Phillips. Yes, you had times when they might talk over each other, or they have time when they were used more than their time. But it was nothing like that, though. Like, it was nothing like that. So, when you start thinking now, you're like, you make us start look on your own government and your government system, like, maybe the people in charge of your thing not so bad. It's like, maybe your leaders are not so terrible. You know, maybe you need to give yourself more, your country more credit. Like, Jamaica on the back say, you know, we're not so terrible. You understand? As me say, at the image, you make us start look on certain things different, you know, it make us start really think and look and probably even start appreciate where you are in the world in comparison to where you probably don't want to go. You understand? So you start thinking, yo, maybe where I am right now isn't so bad. Maybe I should stay here and try and make life here. Or if we go, is a thing to go, make life, make some money and come back. Like, I'm not going to stay there. Like, so for me, it make us start look on certain things different. And you realize, yo, we're there, maybe not so bad as you think.
Not so terrible after all.
Not so terrible after all, for real.
But here's the thing, though. I think, like you say, it's an image thing, because when you say, you know, when you talk about America being the leader of the free world and they're supposed to be like the forefront of democracy. And they're the forefront of technology and the forefront of, you know, how, you know, that just democracy and the process and, you know, presidential and how your presidents are supposed to have uphold a certain kind of decorum and manners and mannerisms, and like you're teaching. All right, for example, the president had referred to third world countries as shithole countries. Right? And so now I'm thinking like, yo, dude, I mean, there's a lot of shithole countries, leaders don't behave like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, no, you're looking like, you call third world countries, or what we call third world countries, you in such a derogatory way, but here you are, your behavior that you just exhibited.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, dude.
And one of the things, like what he did, was like with the election, they talk about fraud and elections being fraud and
yes,
one of the thing is that, like, because you can't look on countries like Venezuela, like they have issues with freedom elections, they have other countries that have issues with elections. But America has always been seen as a country where, as I said, democracy, So election
And
process is
elections
like
are
fair
fair,
and free, and
right?
you don't know issues like there's no fraud, no corruption, dispute.
Well, not well,
You do
fraud in
properly.
the sense. Okay, fraud in the sense we are in. All right, we know if it was like a Jamaica where the prime minister said, "Oh, the ballot box got stolen," we would be like, every day something new.
That's happened
Okay,
before. Like, yeah, man, yeah,
so
yeah.
for him to come and talk about, oh, the election is rigged because the ballots are stolen, they were thrown in the
Yeah,
trash,
did
and
I expect that? That was part of the image. That is a thing you didn't expect
right, that's the
ever
part
hear
you're
happen in
like,
America.
what? Like in
As a
America,
Jamaican,
ballots are
you're
being
like,
thrown in
what?
trash.
But the
Like
thief America too? Like, that was a thing?
people just
And
run
you're
off
like,
with
what?
ballots, and the
Like,
the
that's a
post
thing?
people, they throw the shit in the trash like Jamaica does. Like,
Like,
I
yeah, so
thought
like,
y'all were better than us.
yes,
Like that's the thing. I thought y'all were better than us. In
that's
fact,
what has been damaged.
your organizations come to our countries to come monitor our shit.
Yes.
So how come y'all's nonprofit fair people don't monitor y'all shit? Like, why do you not fix up your own house before you walk into other people's houses and go tell
And
them,
if
what
you live
they
in a,
should do and
if
not
you
do and
live in,
cannot do?
if you live in glass houses, don't throw stones. I think that is, as we said, the image. Like, things that are being said, maybe true or untrue, by the president himself, it's really doing a damage to the image. So a lot of people now, as we say, you look on where you are, where you want to go, and you're going to realize that maybe where you are isn't as bad as it looked or you think. Or where you are wanting to go isn't as good or as great as you
As you
think it is.
think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a valid point. But I don't know. I would like to hear from our
Any
fellow,
thoughts and say?
yeah, fellow exchange people. Join the exchange. What are your thoughts? I mean, not with the if you've seen the debates, and if you haven't, I mean, it's worldwide news. If you did not, you just go YouTube it and see it. Um, and as a person, as an immigrant living in America, what are your thoughts? Did this change your views of the country that you now live in? Or as a person outside of America, how do you feel about it? I mean, do you still want to come here and live and have your kids and raise a family? Or do you just want to visit and go home? Or do you now have a new appreciation for your own country and your own government? Because you're like, look at that, the leader of the free world, they ain't better than us. So I don't know. And like you said, but here's the question though, where you said the image has tarnished. But I think the question to be asked is, I don't think he cares. And then not only him, I don't do Americans even care what other people outside of the world think about them?
Yes, I think so. Like a lot of
I don't think so.
rhetoric, a lot of stuff you hear, a lot of people will say our Americans will boast like America is the greatest country in the world and patriot. I wouldn't like I heard a guy said one time, I forgot which video he said, the worst day in America is the best day anywhere else. Like, so you have people think and believe that as Americans. So even if
Yeah,
they don't realize it, the
Carrie,
image of America matters to them.
yeah, but the president carrying on is not gonna make them any less patriotic.
Yeah,
They're
but
still America is still the best country in the world. If you're a patriot, you're a patriot. That's just that.
exactly.
They
So
don't care.
that's what I said. They might not care about the image, but it doesn't change the fact that outside of America, people go look funny. The image go look different now. They
I
might not
I'm
care, but
I
I think
I'm
other people.
I wonder if there will be like, because I was watching a news program the other day. I was watching it, or I was reading a news article, I forgot. And they polled countries across the world, and same thing that you were talking about, when people are talking about the image that they now have of America, and the perception. And in a lot of countries, wherein like the positive feeling that they have and the perception is good, and it was high, and there now it's like low. like 40s, 20%. They're like the image and the way people see is just tanking. It's around the world, people are just, it's almost like people are shook. Like, we did not, like, what is going on? But again, I don't feel like the average American gives a shit. I don't. They don't care. They don't care what the other people around the world think about them. I don't think they care.
Well, they probably don't have to, because it's not like say you go affect them
Their
bottom
daily
line.
life.
What I say, it's gonna affect your daily lives.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know what the long-term impact I do, because a lot of great minds leave from where they are, which part them they never have to go to America.
That's true.
If a lot of those people start seeing America as that place and start go to other countries, you don't know how in the long run that might affect America. So people we were saying in Jamaica and they see them they leave up in the water, rotten. You understand? So right now it might have one direct impact. But 2-3 generations from now, you don't know them.
Like, not even generations, like maybe 5 or 10 years. Like, you never know.
That's a short term. But me I think about generations. But generations from now, it's a whole different thing you look on. And it's because of what happened and it's being said right now. So
yeah. Well, this was a short and sweet and to the point one. Tell us your thoughts. What do you think? I mean, from what you're hearing and seeing, that's what's happening in the United States right now. What did this change your perception and your image of the country? Let us know. Or you just don't care. Let us know that too. All right, guys. This is Trina and
Charles.
And this is another one on the Nahsee Exchange. Join us again when we bring you another video, and we'll talk about something else that's on our mind. All right, guys. Bye.